Well, satirist Pieter Dirk Uys has been making us laugh for decades, and usually, thankfully, at the expense of the powerful. In a new book, he takes readers through his early one-man shows that somehow dodged apartheid censorship. He says the realities of early 80s political tensions, corruption, state capture, and rumbles of revolution make this book really topical, especially at this time of pandemic regulations, misinformation, and political confusion. Well, let's find out more by chatting to him. Pieter, thank you so much for joining us. You're always just such a treat to talk to, and we're very grateful that you had time to come on air. Let's just go back quickly and talk about how COVID times have been treating you.
Well, a lockdown for nearly 19 months was a very strange experience, but I did get to know my cat very well. And I sorted things out, and one of the things I thought I would sort out were these reviews I did during the 80s, specifically the 80s and the early 90s, to put them into my website. But I had to type them all back onto a screen because we didn't have computers in those days. And as I was typing these shows, I suddenly, first of all, thought, how the hell did I get away with it? And secondly, I thought, you know, it's 40 years ago, but the problems haven't gone away and the fear has not gone away. And so I got a backstory for each show, and then all sorts of things happened to make me realize I had a book. And in fact, if it was a book and if you could buy it in the shop, it would look like this. It's for 488 pages, and all these pictures can cost you about 400 Rand. But now it is free on my website, pdu.co.za, for the world to read. And I'm very excited about the feedback I'm getting from all over the globe about this book.
I'll come to you in a minute about why you decided to make it free, but I have always wondered, how on earth did you get away with what you did? Did the apartheid government think that you were actually, did they not get the satire? Did they not get the irony? How did you pull it off?
Do you know, looking back, I think being silly was very important. I think many people said, ach, nee, my magdag, hy's 'n moffie in 'n rok, you know, very much a case of, oh, look too stupid, making stupid jokes. So being silly was important, and also dressing up as other people was an entertainment. And the fact that I was wearing women's clothing, which was illegal for most of those years, one had to be entertaining and telling stories and reflecting the hypocrisy and the lies and all the things, but with a very important balance of 49% anger and 51% entertainment. So I hope I was faster than them. I could run faster in my high heels than the police could in their shoes and boots. So one had to keep a sense of humor. That's the thing. Keep a sense of humor as you run for your life.
I mean, I remember hearing you saying that some of those Nat ministers found your shows extremely funny, which makes me wonder if they got the joke.
Well, it was a bit bad for business when you had one of the characters that you're making fun of because of the monstrosity of their politics sitting in the third row and laughing. Like Pete Koornoff, yeah, you know, apartheid idea, thank you very much, bye now, bye now. But it was very interesting because you also couldn't be, let me put it this way, they always say the monsters in politics, they're not humans, they're monsters. No, they are not monsters. They are humans who are also monsters. And many, many of those regime crooks were monsters, but some of them were actually trying to change things for the better. And not that I'm trying to apologize for them, but I think Dr. Pieter Dirk very specifically proved to the world that apartheid couldn't work, because he eventually left his white wife and moved in with a lady of color. Hello, that was quite a show.
I like that, Pieter, because people don't like to hear that people who've done very bad things are actually human. They like to just compartmentalize them and blanket monster them. There's no nuance to that, but there is nuance to people who do bad things. Question, why did you decide to make the book for free? Surely you could be making a profit.
Well, first of all, people have other things to spend money on, and I think a 400 Rand book about what I've written about is not exactly a priority in people's lives. It was also not there to sell. I was thought, let me just do it as to fill my time during this lockdown, to do something creative. And I suddenly realized that it is also part of everybody's heritage. I mean, everybody who of my generation lived there, and the children, the young people of today, they must know where we come from so they can celebrate where we are going. And unfortunately, history is not happening in schools. So one of the things I'm doing right now is sending the link to the principals of schools, and I'm saying to them, share this with your history class. Let the kids actually do the sketches. do Winnie Mandela in 1984, and then suddenly say, why was she in the show? And then discuss the reality of what the history was like in those days. So it's many things. It's like my thing I did in the old days about HIV and AIDS when I took it to schools all over the country. And that was also free. Free is very important. It's not giving it away. It's saying to somebody, share it with me, and actually don't be frightened, listen.
Thank you so much, Pieter Dirk Uys. You are a national treasure, and I say that with zero irony. I really do mean it. So